Mosque complex in Kanda. The conference, which starts this afternoon, it's a 3-day conference and starts this afternoon at the National Mosque, is discussing a lot of things that are relevant or critical thematic areas that are relevant to the well-being of Muslims in Ghana. The maiden conference would focus mainly on education to help us understand who are the brains behind the conference, what the conference seeks to achieve. I have my sheikh and big brother, Dr. Muhammad Marzouk Abu Bakr, or Abu Bakr, the name.
That's it, you're right.
Good. Dr. Abu Bakr Muhammad Marzouk Azindo, very popular on this network. Dr. Muhammad, or Doctor, Dr. means doctor, is a lecturer, we all know, and also the personal or special assistant. I am very careful because I work with the policeman. I'm very careful with titles, so let me get the title when personal assistant to the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Usman Nur Sharu. Doc, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Islamic Belt on Metro TV.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and I'm humbled to be here. Thank you.
I believe this is the first time in our new multi-million edifice. What's your impression about the new facilities here?
Fantastic.
MashaAllah.
Well standard. Adorable.
Allahu Akbar.
Of course, this is the first time I have appeared on your program here.
Oh, but you've been here.
I have been here
Okay.
on a different program.
When
I came here, I saw that it was amazing, fantastic building. And I believe that once the infrastructure has been improved, the content will also be improved.
Inshallah. So, and what does it mean? Looking at the investment in the edifice and then the facilities. Now, what does it mean to you as a Muslim leader, or what should this one tell Muslims?
This is to tell Muslims that we are also ready for excellence. And if we are not ready for excellence, then we should be for excellence. And of course, you can't write the history of Metro TV without Islam. Because Metro TV began with Islamic programs. And therefore, we should do as much as possible to use this as a lesson to ensure excellence in our lives and to improve the Islamic programs at Metro TV. It will be ironical for the Metro TV as an institution to grow, but for the Islamic programs to retrogress. That will be very ironical. And the irony will be a collective shame to the entire Muslim community.
But how do we contribute positively to the development, to the investment?
Of course, we need to...
Because everything here now is monetized.
Yes, and if everything here is monetized, that also tells us to shift our own paradigm from dependency mentality to self-reliance. Because why should we always be the recipient of handouts? I think we have the financial and intellectual capacity to initiate programs, to sponsor programs, and to improve the performance of other programs, the existing programs here. So it is good, but I don't see it as anything wrong. It is good for things to be monetized, because that alone pushes us to another pedestal of recognition of self-reliance instead of dependency mentality. And if we are pushed to gather resources and to improve the programs here, and of course to initiate new ones, that will be the collective credit to the Muslim Ummah.
I believe management will be happy with this fantastic idea coming from Dr. Marzouk.
Yes, sir.
Every conference has a mission. Now, what is the basis for this conference?
Thank you so much for this for this question. But before I go to the basis of this question,
okay.
The basis of the conference,
No.
I want you are an imam.
No.
Of course, we learn from you.
No,
people.
no.
You, the leaders.
No.
You agree with me that Islam is not just a religion.
No.
It is also a state.
Okay.
Where it is found in a country that does not tolerate other religions, then Islam has a dual responsibility of providing political and spiritual leadership. And that is theocracy. But when Islam is found in a multi-religious, secular, democratic society like Ghana, it still has another responsibility, leveraging its own values to enhance the secular democratic culture in nation building, in youth employment, in youth development, in service to humanity. And therefore, this conference seeks to establish the relevance of Islam to a secular democratic state. And that will also emphasize the literature on the symbiosis between religion and secularism. We believe that religion and secularism are tools for enhancing the service to humanity. They are not poles apart, of course, theoretically. So we are trying as much as possible to tell the whole world that Islam is relevant to this conference. You also agree that yes, we belong to a secular community, but then Muslims constitute a critical segment of the population. Unfortunately, we are among the category of the underprivileged. And therefore, we are trying as much as possible to look at certain thematic areas that will help us to improve our own lives. That is why we have decided to come up with this conference, to tell the whole world that we can do, and we can do for the nation and for ourselves. The conference has so many features. It is organized in line with certain thematic areas. And these thematic areas will help us to showcase the relevance of Islam to a secular community and the relevance of Islam to the improvement of the youth.
Okay, so what are the thematic areas?
The thematic areas outlined for this conference are 1, education, 2, health, and 3, finance. Education, in our estimation, is the soul of society. Health is the body. And of course, you need a kind of oxygen to keep the soul and the body together. And therefore, we go for finance. If you want to go for education, you are healthy, and you don't have the financial capacity, there's no way you can do that. You can achieve your aim. So these are the thematic areas we have outlined for the conference. But then, the maiden conference will concentrate on education, just as you have mentioned in your introduction. But it is important for us to also make it clear that this conference has 2 phases. 1, it is a conference as an establishment. And 2, it is a conference as an event. And as an event, it will be annual. As an establishment, it will be perpetual. Perpetual in the sense that it will be an institution that will have governing body, management body, any other relevant committee that will enhance the performance of that institution. So it will be perpetual. And I'm so much happy that it is inclusive of all those who matter. And when I say all those who matter, I'm referring to the segments of our community, the politicians, the sectarian heads, the office of the National Chief Imam, the youth, the Muslim professionals, all of them, all stakeholders are inclusive. And that is why we want to showcase to the whole world. Because one of the fundamental values of Islam is unity. But because we failed to appreciate the difference between division and diversity, we tend to conduct ourselves in a manner that militates against our sense of unity. Not that we are not united, but that we do not appreciate diversity in our unity.
Look, your conference or the conference as an event is going to be annual.
Sure.
But as an establishment, it's going to be perpetual.
Sure.
All my life, as in the media,
yes,
or as an imam, I know very well that literature or documentation about Muslims and Muslim organizations or Islam locally, I mean made by local or indigenous, are very scanty.
Okay.
What exists, we can't say they don't exist, mostly are written or are worked on by outsiders. If an outsider is writing your history for you, definitely you must expect some element of objectivity, suspect, or subjectivity. How would this one be different from the other ones that we know? Now, another question is a two-in-one that I want you to address is that I know also through research that Muslims are very good when it comes to formation or creation or establishing association. Now, how to manage, maintain, and sustain the association is always a suspect. So how assuring is this conference as an event and as an establishment, that means from annual to perpetuality, is going to change the paradigm from the way we do things in the past?
Thank you so much. Let me address the first one, the last one first.
Okay.
Yes.
It's academic.
Yeah. Very academic.
No.
It is true that we are concerned about the struggle to gain.
No.
But we do little when it comes to the effort to sustain.
Yes. We are very verbose. But in terms
the effort
of action,
to gain is our concern.
No.
But the burden to sustain has always been a problem for us. We now want to change the paradigm. The best way we can change the paradigm is to work in a state of unity in diversity. Let me give you an example. You are right when you talk of the existing Muslim institutions. I know you have been, you are very careful. You just don't want to mention certain institutions.
No, I'm
and
very careful.
It's based on your professionalism and maturity. I admire that. Yes, but we all know all these existing institutions are operated either on sectarian lines or on group missions. All the Muslim organizations that you are referring to. So we are saying that the time has now come for us to bring all these institutions under one umbrella.
Okay.
With the blessing of His Eminence National Chief Imam, with the support from our politicians in Parliament, with the support of good people like you in media, with the support of our own children, cousins, and nieces in schools. So when all of them are brought under one umbrella, then we can ensure the proper application of all the resources of all the institutions. So the difference here is clear. Yes, we have existing ones having their own operations based on their missions, based on their sectarian interests. This time round, we want to tell the whole world that we are moving away from sectarian supremacy to Islamic unity. And if we are able to come together, this is not to say that we are disbanding any institution. No, not at all. We try as much as possible to bring them together, to form a kind of unity where diversity will be respected.
Okay.
I think, you know better, you are an imam. Our main problem is recognition of diversity.
Okay.
And of course, commonsensically, any unity that does not recognize diversity amounts to disunity.
Okay.
Because from our diversity, we can accept unity. So this is how we are trying as much as possible to do. And that is why we have started with education. Look at the theme. The theme of the conference is Muslim education at the crossroads.
In Ghana.
In Ghana. The need for concerted action.
So this time we are moving from deliberations to action.
To action.
No verbosity.
No more verbosity. Movement from deliberating to action. Movement from individualism to collectivism.
Okay.
Movement from the individual interest to collective interest. And then we are not going to do it alone. We are going to do it in a united manner. Concerted action. Carried out in a unified manner. Right?
Okay.
And of course,
look, I don't have much time.
Yes.
I wish to bring you again after the conference, but answer this question for me, Doc. After that, you focus on the area of the conference today to the closure.
Okay.
Duplication of function by a Muslim organization is also a matter of concern.
That's true.
How would this conference address it?
The conference will harmonize the duplications, harmonize areas of duplications.
Okay.
You know, we know our problems, but our solutions to the problems have always been duplicated. And the duplication in the end becomes nothing. It solves no problem. We are trying as much as possible to harmonize all the differences and to bring all the duplications under one table.
But have you done enough?
Not on one table, under one table.
Enough consultations, stakeholder consultation, engagements. You've done enough.
We have done a lot of engagement. We've gone to all the sectarian heads. We've gone to His Eminence, the National Chief Imam. All of them have accepted the idea. And at the end of the day, they are coming to sign a deed that will bind all of them to come together, work together. We have done a lot. Even yesterday, Muslim caucus in Parliament went to His Eminence, the National Chief Imam, to remind him of the conference. And all the heads of all the sects have agreed to come together. In fact, their agreement serves as oxygen to our operations.
But they are politicians.
I know. Well, who are politicians? You know the imams or the politicians?
No, there is a Muslim
caucus in Parliament.
Yes.
No, I'm referring to the agreement by the imams.
Okay, but
as for the Muslim caucus, yes, they are politicians. You know why they are politicians, and we have to deal with them.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
in the past we blame that they are not too engaging.
Exactly.
I think it's the.
And Imam, to be frank with you, ironically, where we are expected to see fire based on different orientation, different ideology. It is elder unity.
Allah.
Yes, I think it is a plus and collective credit for the entire Muslim community to celebrate the unity of the Muslim caucus in Parliament.
Yes, I know I have to give you time to speak, but I also constrain with regards to time. So, Doc, you are focusing on education.
Sure.
Inshallah, but tell me something about that and then conclude with how the findings or resolutions, you are a technical, you know how to put it better, of the conference will not be like the ordinary ones where we go eat, drink, and then nothing happens. How would would the findings or the resolutions or of the conference be put into good use?
It will be, because we have been able to outline certain topics for presentation, and the topics all the topics take into consideration the need for us to act in a concerted manner. And of course, the topics are also in response to the challenges in our educational system. So topics like the state of the state of our tertiary institutions, the state of our content, and then protection of Muslim students, protection of the rights of Muslim students, girl-child education, improvement of performance, funding. You know, sometimes funding becomes a critical issue. Funding. All these are topics table for discussion. And at the end of the day, we are trying to assemble experts to look at the presentations and put them into actionable plans. Once we have agreed that the plans are actionable, then we go beyond the rhetorics to action.
Look, I want to thank you very much. I sincerely hate doing this, but the new Metro TV respect time a lot. So on this note, we would have to end the program now. But it's a promise that Doc will be back after the conference to share the outcome of the conference. So I will wish the conference success and victory, and we are assuring you that our crew will be there for news and other programs. If you have enjoyed today's program, join us same time next week for yet another interesting edition of the Islamic Belt. My name is Abass Abdul-Karim, and I have been speaking earlier on with Dr. Abubakar Marzouk Azindo. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and bye-bye.
Alhamdulillah.
To the universe, hey. Wish I could see the world from space, yeah. Subhanallah, the creator. Oh, and it's taking my breath away, hey. I'm so thankful I can say, just say Allah.